By the time it's Saturday, Ruto then marks 3 years in office. So there's 3 years after he was sworn in, President Ruto's presidency is being judged on promises of a bottom-up economy transformation and by the sharp reality of rising living costs that have left very many Kenyans frustrated. Tonight we examine that and of course we get to see whether he has delivered what has stalled so far or backfired, and why ordinary households say that progress has been overshadowed by higher prices and unrest. That report by our own Micah Gongo.
Na ni dhahiri shahiri kwamba anakuwa amri jeshi mkuu wa majeshi yote ya ulinzi ya Kenya.
When William Ruto took office in September 2022, he promised a new economic order, the bottom-up agenda, aimed at delivering affordable credit, housing, jobs and cheaper living for ordinary Kenyans. 3 years on, there are visible wins but also deep public frustration. On infrastructure and programs, the government can point to deliverables. The affordable housing program has recorded nearly 200,000 units under construction, with another 130,000 in procurement.
Nyumba ambayo ilikuwa inauza shilingi milioni 20 unaipata kwa milioni 3 sasa. Ile ilikuwa inauza shilingi milioni 7 unaipata kama kwa 800,000. Nyumba bedroom moja, bedroom mbili, zingine mpaka 400,000 unaweza kumiliki nyumba kupitia mfumo wa affordable housing.
The Hustler Fund has disbursed 72 billion shillings to about 26 million Kenyans, with an 83% repayment rate. Government says tens of thousands of new teachers have been recruited.
Kutoka tuchukue hatamu za uongozi, hakuna mwanafunzi ambaye amekosa fedha zake za HELB. Hakuna mwanafunzi amekosa kwenda shule kwa sababu capitation haikupelekwa. Tumejenga madarasa zaidi, tumeajiri walimu zaidi ya 70,000.
But many Kenyans say these gains are outweighed by the pain at the pumps and in kitchens. Fuel subsidies were scrapped, new taxes passed, and inflation pushed food prices higher.
So, kwa fedha mkononi hazipo, lakini zile huduma muhimu za kimsingi ambapo ni haki ya katiba kama serikali tunahakikishia Kenya, tutahakikisha kwamba hizo tunazidhibiti na muweze kuzipata bila wasiwasi wowote.
Doubts also linger over Ruto's healthcare reforms. The new Social Health Authority meant to replace NHIF has faced rollout delays, funding gaps and mistrust, with patients and hospitals complaining that promised universal health coverage remains out of reach.
SHA ikianza ilikuwa nzuri, unalipa mwezi moja unatibiwa, lakini sasa ukienda kwa hospitali kutibiwa SHA unaambiwa ulipe mwaka mzima ili upate huduma.
Kama serikali kuu tumekuwa tukitoa kiwango chetu cha fedha kuhakikisha kwamba zinakwenda moja kwa moja hadi katika hospitali level 2, level 3 atakana bure, lakini mara nyingi changamoto imekuwa kuwepo kwa madawa katika hospitali zile.
And nothing rattled Kenya Kwanza more than the Gen Z protests of 2024, sparked by the finance bill's tax hikes. The largely youth-led, self-proclaimed leaderless movement swept across the country. Dozens lost their lives in clashes, forcing Ruto to withdraw the bill and reshuffle his cabinet. A rare climb down that analysts say marked a turning point of his presidency.
The only thing the president has actually used for the Gen Z demonstration is that now he's used it as an excuse to clamp down on civil liberties. The Bill of Rights has actually been encroached on.
Despite the negative aspects of where he stands and where the government stands, but I think a positive feature is a political goodwill that is already coming from the president, which therefore needs to be exerted at the constitutional commission or institutional level.
Critics also point to stalled or controversial deals, including the cancellation of major infrastructure contracts. After transparency concerns are signs of inconsistent policy and weak governance. Questions also persist about whether independent bodies remain truly independent under Ruto's regime. From the judiciary to oversight commissions, critics argue that political pressure and executive influence have eroded autonomy, raising doubts about checks and balances in the past 3 years.
The independent bodies are independent to the letter in terms of the constitutional expectation, but the spirit of independence is not there.
Another gap lies in communication. Analysts say government has failed to effectively inform Kenyans about the services and opportunities under its flagship programs. But the administration insists the information is out there, blaming what it calls public ignorance for low uptake and persistent mistrust.
Huduma za serikali zipo na nyingi zinatupita kwa sababu tunapenda kupuuza. Katika miaka hii mitatu tubadilisheni mtazamo wetu, tusiwe watu wa kupuuza mwito wa serikali. Mengine ya kisiasa puuza.
Economists give an ambivalent verdict, arguing that the programs are not yet large or well targeted enough to offset inflation and debt pressures. Others warn that measures touted as inclusive risk becoming costly liabilities without clear delivery chains, oversight and measurable outcomes.
Let him not try and divorce himself. He was part and parcel of that previous government. There are many, many instances under which William Ruto himself defended the debt accumulation. And what we are saying is that that debt accumulation which the government took during Uhuru's time was odious.
3 years into his presidency, Ruto has rolled out visible projects such as housing, teacher recruitment and microcredit programs. However, these achievements are overshadowed by rising living costs, governance challenges and public frustration. The key question is whether policy adjustments can rebuild confidence ahead of the next phase of his term. Mike Kagwango, TV 47, Nairobi.